Good evening. I'm having a pipe and a drop of malt whiskey. I haven't had a pipe smoke or a drop of malt whiskey for ages, and I just felt like it, and I'd have a chat with you. It's the Glenmorangie. It's very nice, very nice. I tend to sip. It's a malt. I want to enjoy it. It's Glenmorangie. Very nice. Very good. Glenmorangie. Scottish Gaelic. Pipes. I ran out of fuel for my lighter, so I'm using these matches. There's talk about David Beckham being given a knighthood, being awarded a knighthood. In case you don't know, David Beckham is he's a world famous footballer, was captain of England. He's actually a friend of mine. I know him really well. You know, we get on together. Actually, no, I don't really know him that well. He's not a friend, he's more of an acquaintance, to be honest. When I say acquaintance, I met him once. We had a nice long conversation though. When I say conversation, I mean I said hello and he said hello. And that was about the extent of it. Oh, I've got a tendency to exaggerate. But George, my son, met him. Camera went off. There's a tendency to do that recently. Yeah, George, my son, met him. I think George would have been about 8 or 9 years old. We were on holiday, him and I, in the Isles of Scilly, of all places, where you wouldn't expect to meet a famous footballer. But he was there along with a few other footballers doing an advert, making an advert for trainers of some sort. The Isles of Scilly, in case you don't know, I'm not saying you're silly, or you're silly, but the Isles of Scilly is just off of Land's End, Cornwall, England. When you get to Land's End, if you kept going for about 30 miles, you'd come to the Isles of Scilly. You'd get wet because you have to go across the sea, but or you could go in a plane or a helicopter. I've done it. I've been on a plane and I've been on a ship to get there, but the helicopter, no way, not getting on one of those. I'd never have been able to work on the oil rigs. Although perhaps I would have got braver if I knew I was earning good money. where was I? Oh yeah, we George and I were on the Isles of Scilly on holiday. It was a funny week. These footballers were there, and there was security everywhere. And I had a run-in with one of the security blokes. I'm a silly bugger. I was walking along the path towards our favourite beach, and this guy stopped me. He said, "You can't come this way." I said, "What are you talking about? I can't come this way." I said, "I always come this way when I'm on a holiday." He said, "Oh, they're filming." I said, "Well, that's not my bloody problem, mate." The whole world has to stop when filming goes. Oh, excuse me, it just went off again. Sorry about that. Where was I? Maybe it's this pipe doing it, or the fact that I'm drinking, which maybe it doesn't like me drinking and smoking. Yeah, the whole world has to stop when filming's going on. Years ago, when I was married to... went off again, the camera. I've changed the battery. I don't know, it seemed to get very hot. I don't even know where I was. Oh yeah, we was family, me and Jodie and my ex, we all went to Portsmouth to visit HMS Victory, the ship, Nelson's flagship. When we got there, it was about an hour and a half to get there. When we got there, we went into the shipyard, dockyard. We weren't allowed on the ship. Why is that? Harry Seacombe was filming there, some Sunday praise or something there. We weren't allowed on. I was bloody furious. I went right off Harry Seacombe after that. Anyway, that's the thing about filming. They think they can just do what they like, to stop everything. Oh, we're very important, we're filming. Well, no, you're not actually. People are more important than you. Anyway, go back to the Isles of Scilly. I had an argument with this bloke. We ended up all right. We ended up laughing because I said to him, "Look, mate, I've got 1 week's effing holiday, and you're spoiling it for me." Anyway, we chatted a little bit, and it was all right. So we waited for David Beckham, who was filming on that particular bit. He was sitting on an upturned rowing boat, and we waited for him to do it. And then, we got on with life. Then the next day we was out, George and I, for a walk. It's only a small island. I think it's a couple of miles across, and a couple of miles lengthways. There's several islands on the Isles of Scilly. This one is St Mary's, the biggest island where the most people live, and there's cars on it. Not a lot. You can't bring your car over there, but some of the people who live on there, some of them have cars, and they have golf carts and things like that to get about on. I never saw any motorbikes. So we're walking down this quiet road. There's nothing happening. We're walking down this quiet road, and suddenly out of this building comes David Beckham. He's got a couple of big security guys following behind him, but he just comes walking out. And there's me and George walking down the road, and there he is, England captain, because George was a mad keen footballer. He still loves his football. I'm not so keen on it anymore. But I said to George, go and say hello. And George said, "Oh, no, Dad." I said, "Go on. He said, "You never get a chance like this." So he walks, crosses the road, goes up to David Beckham and says hello, and David Beckham shakes his hand, and they have this little conversation. It was very nice of David Beckham. I thought, what a smashing bloke he was. I don't know what the conversation was, because George, he was too starstruck to ever tell me what they were saying. And I just thought, here we are on this island, very remote island. It wasn't in the holiday season, so it wasn't that busy. It gets quite busy in the holiday season, although when I say busy, it's not that busy because it's, you know, difficult to get to, and it's a long journey, and there's ship you have to go in. Yeah, so here we are, practically in the middle of nowhere, and we meet David Beckham. And George has a conversation with him. Anyway, there's talk now of David Beckham getting a knighthood. I don't know. I'm not sure what the talk's about. I just saw something on YouTube. Someone saying, "Oh, David Beckham knighthood." I didn't watch the rest of it. I thought, oh, yeah, he deserves that. I think he deserves it because he was so kind to my son. But of course, he deserves it for his free kick ability. You ever seen him do a free kick? My God, he's good. Yeah, so yeah, that's that little story, and yeah, I'd like to see David Beckham get a knighthood. Not only was he England captain, bloody good footballer. We'll forgive him, Manchester United. I preferred Man City myself, but yeah, he does a lot for charity. He's just a really decent young man. Well, he's not so young now, is he? But he's just a decent man, and yeah, he deserves his. If he gets it, I don't know anything about it. I just heard this. I don't even know if he's been put up for an honour or whatever, but I think he deserves it. And that's it. What? Nigel's trying to get my attention. What's that, Nigel? Oh, he doesn't want to say anything at the minute. I don't think he agrees with me about David Beckham. Slanger. Cheers, Scottish Gaelic. I got top of the league in Scottish Gaelic lessons this week. Actually, I can show you I can show you my name at the top of the league. I'll turn this off for a minute because I'm worried about it getting over hot, but it hasn't done it again. I hope it hasn't spoiled the video for you. Can you see that? You moved up to number 1 in the Sapphire League, John Bain. Hey? Pride comes before a fall, they say. I'm quite pleased with my Scottish Gaelic lessons. I'm getting on quite well. I just wish I had someone to actually converse with. I did book some lessons, but to be honest, I couldn't cope with them. It's a funny thing, but I love writing. I love making stories, writing stories, but I don't do grammar, and I'm hopeless at punctuation. I'll say I'm hopeless at punctuation. I mean, I get it right, but most of the time it's pure luck that I get it right, and all the things like nouns and verbs and adjectives, I can't get my head around it all. I don't understand why. It must be a form of dyslexia, I think. But yeah, so these Scottish lessons I was having on Zoom, I just had to give them up. I couldn't cope with the complexity of it all. It's weird, isn't it? That, you know, I love reading, because I think I told you my education effectively stopped when I was about 13, and I hadn't had much up to then because of my childhood being all traumatic and mishmash and whatever you. This is very nice. Camera stayed on this time. Okay, you can sit there, but you know, just try and behave yourself while I'm chatting to my friends. Not your fucking friends. You ain't got no fucking friends. I have. What about David Beckham? You fucking imagining things. Oh, Nigel, by the way, we don't use bad language on my YouTube channel. Fucking liar. No, just stop it. Otherwise, you won't be able to. You won't be able to appear. But here, I don't get any fee for being here. Don't say fee, Nigel, because I can't say fee without moving my lips. Oh, go on, try it. Go on, try and say fee. No, it's no good, mate. I can't say it. Anyway, what were you trying to tell me when I was talking about the David Beckham story? I'm just trying to tell you what load of fucking bollocks. No. Don't say the F word. I can't say that without moving my lips. And don't say bollocks either. That's, that's not nice. You say things like that all the time. I don't say things like that on camera. And you're always saying it's because you was a sailor. Yeah, we know what sailors get up to. Dirty bastard. Yeah, so anyway, I think I'll leave this here. I'll get on with my whiskey. I hardly ever have a drop of whiskey. Oh, don't say it. So I'll leave it at that. Say goodbye, Nigel. Goodbye, Nigel. Yeah, thanks for looking in, everyone. Funny little video again tonight. Just thought I'd pop in and say hello to you. Really appreciate you being there. You want fucking money? Stop it, Nigel. Just stop that. Nothing to do with money. I get a £5 a week, if that. Oh, I recently got a cheque from YouTube. 58 quid. Took me 4 months to get that. You're not even worth that. Well, I think I am, and so do my subscribers. They love me. You're fucking mental. So are you, mate. Anyway, lovely to see you. Take care of yourself. Bye-bye for now. Bye. You switch that off for me, will you, Nige? Oh, fucking hell.